This is example problem 5. And so this is vector addition using a vector polygon. So in other words, doing it graphically, which is kind of evil, but you need to know how to do it. And it's a useful tool to visualize what the proper answer should be. So we have two vectors, 50 pounds at 15 degrees and 80 pounds at 20 degrees clockwise from the positive y. And so we want to add these two guys together. And so you can basically just slide this vector over tip to tail with this guy. So this guy plus this guy gives you the resultant, which is this guy. And so you expect a vector that's longer than 80. And then you expect his angle to be, in the vicinity of 55 or 60 degrees, something like that. And so to add these on the calculator, as you've seen, it's super easy because these are given in polar form. And you can just enter this 50 at 15 plus 80 at 70. This is the x and y components of it. And then this is the end result, which is 116.1 at 49.4 degrees. And so that's this guy here. So it's super easy on your calculator. However, you still need to know how to do the vector polygon. So how do you do that? Well, first of all, you have to carefully draw the picture. And so I draw the 50 at about 15 degrees. Then I draw a vertical line. And then I draw a line that's 80, that's about 20 degrees from vertical. And it's longer than this 50. So this is 50, and then this is 80. Once you've drawn him, and you've drawn him, then you can draw a line from here to there, and that's your FR. You need to properly identify these angles. So this internal angle is 15 degrees. I'm sorry. So this angle here is 15 degrees, which means that this angle, if you start at this corner here and draw a horizontal dotted line and a vertical dotted line, then this angle here is 15, which comes from this guy. And then this guy is 20. So if this guy is 20 and this guy is 15, then this entire internal angle phi is 90 plus 15 plus 20, which is 125 degrees. So what we have now is one side, which is 50, this side, which is 80, and one angle, which is 125. I don't know alpha, I don't know beta, I don't know FR. And so this pretty much locks me into the law of cosines. So the law of cosines is basically, if I know two sides and an angle between them, so A, B, and the angle between them, C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared minus 2AB cosine gamma. A is 50 squared, 80 squared, minus 2 times 50 times 80, cosine of this angle, which is 125. So side C, which is FR, is 116.1 pounds. Once you get this FR, now we know all three sides, plus we know this angle. Now we can go to the law of sines for this triangle. And so I have 116.1 divided by sine of 125. That's equal to 50 divided by the sine of beta. And that's equal to 80 divided by the sine of alpha. 116.1 over sine of 125 is 141.8. So beta is the inverse sine of 50 over 141.8. So beta is 20.7 degrees. Alpha is the inverse sine of 80 divided by 141.8, and that's equal to 34.4 degrees. Alpha plus beta plus phi should add to 180, which they do. So just as a check. So once we have FR, 116.1, once we have alpha is 34.4, then 15 plus 34.4 gives me 49.4 degrees. And so this is my FR here. And I can compare that to the FR I got here for my calculator, and I get the same numbers. Obviously, the calculator is much easier, but again, this is a skill you should have. Learn to draw angles carefully. Learn to draw these diagrams carefully. And it's another tool in your toolbox that you need to be able to do. So this is example problem 5.